Previously on the Adventure Bus. Sometimes I love this thing, sometimes I want to burn it. The Thickum is not broken. 48 volts with the key on, 48 volts with a cranking. Cylinder 3 contribution balance. This may be caused by internal engine components. Why are all 8 cylinders injector circuit low? I think maybe it's time to get the bus towed to a repair shop.
So you have 0 oil pressure.
Yikes, yeah, that's not good. And now, we have more bad news. Adventure Bus, Adventure Bus. Why do you do this to me? You were just a poor little school bus that I brought in and rescued and turned into an amazing RV that sounds amazing and makes cool turbo noises. And to repay me, you blew up. That's right! The Adventure Bus is officially blown up. Like, blown up. Right here I have an oil pump with a bunch of scratches and dents and melted points all over it. The last thing that you guys heard, as I already did in the intro, the Adventure Bus had 0 oil pressure when cranking. We were hoping that the cause of the oil pressure was the pickup tube in the oil pan. I guess that it is a common problem for these van chassis to have their pickup tubes fall off. Truckworks performed a couple of tests to test that theory, and sure enough, the bus still didn't have any oil pressure, so it wasn't the pickup tube. Then they went ahead, disassembled the front cover, pulled off the oil pump gears, and looked around, and they found a lot of damage. I'll show you guys some pictures. It has 2 very big marks out of it. I'm gonna take this moment just to say I'm not a diesel mechanic, so I don't exactly know what I'm talking about. The guys at Truckworks did an amazing job at trying to explain everything to me, but I don't know as much as they do. So these marks right here are from needle bearings. That's what they were called. I don't know what that is, but the point is it's very important. This gear also has chips taken off on the edge all the way around, which is another really bad thing. So yeah, the low oil pressure pump went bad. It blew up. The reason why the bus stopped running after this is because the injectors are powered off of the oil. So no oil pressure, no injectors, no combustion. Now, the bad thing is that we drove almost a mile on this broken oil pump. While we were driving home from the shop, I remember it starting to surge down the street. Me being the brilliant person that I am, I floored it a couple times and I was trying to beat on it, like clear it up and figure it out. So dumb, why did I do that? So unfortunately, Truckworks drained the oil and there was metal all over it. So pretty much what happened, the oil pump failed. We drove on the broken oil pump with 0 oil pressure and caused damage to the engine. We're not exactly sure what all is broken, but we believe obviously some needle bearings went bad. They believe a couple of lifters dropped, and we believe that it might have spun a crank bearing. When I heard this bad news, I had a couple of options. My options were to buy a new bus and convert it again. The problem with that option is that I would have another slow bus that was unreliable, that was taken care of poorly. It would probably have the same exact problems that this bus had. And I'd have to convert the interior again for a 3rd time. And I don't really feel like doing that. My second option was to buy a transit van, because transit van would be nice and new, it would be super comfortable, it would drive really nice, it would get much better miles per gallon. Problem with that is that they're 30 grand, which is way out of my budget, and they are significantly smaller and they can't tow as much. So that limited us there. My third option was just to buy a truck. That is also a very expensive option. If I bought a truck, I'd buy a new truck, and those are, anywhere from 20 to 80 grand. The main reason why I didn't want to get a truck is because trucks are boring. Wait, what did I just say? Let me clarify that some trucks are very, very cool. A lot of trucks are really, really cool, but stock trucks aren't as cool. They're a little boring, okay? I like having cool projects, I like having unique projects. I also like being able to live in the tow rig. So when we go to track events, we can, stay inside of the bus. And then my 4th option was to fix the bus, and it pretty much needs a new motor. That turned out being the easiest, cheapest, and funnest option. So pretty much I'm having Truckworks pull the engine on the bus. They are going to rebuild it, replace anything that is wrong. They're going through the entire thing and replacing every single gasket. We're doing ARP head studs and head gaskets. The 6.0, otherwise known as the 6 blow, had a huge problem with lifting heads the moment you try to make any power. So the ARP head studs and head gaskets will fix that. We're also doing some performance mods, new injectors, EGR deletes, maybe a bigger downpipe, and a tune. So as much as it sucks, having to rebuild the bus, it is gonna be awesome because we're gonna have a brand new engine that can make a lot of power and a lot of torque. Also, before I get any farther, a fifth option that I could have done was engine swapping the bus, but trust me, I've done an engine swap before, and it almost always ends up costing more than you originally thought. And now, a Cummins is awesome and super reliable and super powerful, but the engine itself is expensive. Swapping it in, trying to make everything work would be expensive. The bus is supposed to be reliable, and usually engine swaps just have Thanks, camera, for dying in the middle of me talking. What I was going to say is that the 6.0 is actually a really fantastic motor once it's bulletproofed and once it's fixed. With this new engine, we are still keeping the stock injector size and the stock turbo. With those two things being factory, we're gonna be probably making somewhere around 400 wheel horsepower and maybe in the ballpark of 800 wheel torque. If you guys remember the dyno video, the bus made 150 wheel horsepower and the torque reading didn't come, but probably around 300 wheel torque. So with this new bulletproof, with this new engine rebuild, we're gonna be making more than twice the horsepower than we currently are, and more than twice the torque. So as much as the situation sucks, having to spend a bunch of money rebuilding a bus, it is gonna be awesome. The bus is finally gonna be able to cruise on the highway at normal speeds. In the future, if we want to get a bigger enclosed trailer, tow 2 cars, we can totally do that. That's an option. I thought about it for a long time, and part of me didn't want to invest anything more in the bus. But if we didn't fix the engine and we just got rid of the bus without it running, we'd be able to sell it for like $1,000. You guys are fully aware how much time and money we've put into that thing. And just leaving the engine blown up and getting rid of the bus and getting something else would have been such a waste of all that time and money that we've invested into it. Not to mention, totally unfair for all the companies that have sponsored the bus. They've put just as much time and money into the bus as I have, and just getting rid of it would not be the right thing to do. Although we are investing more money into the bus and a little bit more time, I will be able to get all that stuff back when I go to sell it. Now, of course, this is costing a lot of money. I'm not gonna beg you guys for money or start a GoFundMe or anything. I'm able to afford this rebuild all by myself, thankfully, from the help of you guys. But I will say that it's going to take up pretty much all of my budget for the next couple of months. If you guys want to help it go a little bit smoother and help me be able to spend money on some of my other projects, so that way we can actually have videos besides just rebuilding the bus, you guys can go to Patreon and donate there. I want to reward those who help rebuild the bus. So somewhere on the bus, I'm going to have a panel. I don't know where, I don't know what, but somewhere on the bus there's going to be a panel with the names of every single person who donated this month on Patreon. Doesn't matter how much, could be 2 cents, could be $2,000. Anyone who donates this month on Patreon will get their name somewhere on the adventure bus. I thought about a bunch of different options that you guys could do to help me afford this and make it go smoother, and I thought this was the best option. That's pretty much all I wanted to say in this video, just a little update video telling you guys what's up with the adventure bus. The guys at Truckworks said I'm able to film the entire process, so that's gonna be really awesome. Over the next couple of weeks, we'll have some videos of pulling the engine on the bus, rebuilding it, putting it back in, tuning the bus, making lots of power, rolling coal, and just being awesome. So again, as much as the situation sucks, it started out as thinking, a single injector went out to needing an entire engine rebuild, which really sucked. It is kind of good in the long run. I wanted to rebuild the engine and bulletproof it eventually anyway, so this just gives me an excuse to have to do it now. I think the worst part about this is that we've missed like 2 events now. 2 different events, couple of track events. We can't go anywhere without the bus. The cool thing is that Truckworks said that it should be done in 2 weeks, which is insane. I want to give everyone who donates an advanced thanks, so thank you. If you are interested in donating and helping this rebuild happen, go to the link in the description or click up there. And let me make it clear that anyone who's already a Patreon will also get their name on the bus. You guys already helped so much. So in the next video, we are kind of redoing the cold side of the turbo system on Molly. And then maybe in the next video, we're pulling the engine on the adventure bus. I'm really excited to actually watch them work on the bus and kind of learn more about it, because I'm clueless when it comes to diesels. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you for understanding. I'll see you guys next time. Peace out and goodbye.